Hi everyone, this is Elisha CoCo Graham, and I just want to welcome you to a special edition of CoCo Cafe TV, where we are participating in the I Am campaign interview series. So welcome. Today I have with me the lovely, talented, beautiful Tiana Patrice, who's just become a dear friend of mine in just a short time that I have known her. But let me tell you a little bit about her. Tiana is the founder of Tiana Patrice LLC, where she inspires, empowers, and motivates women entrepreneurs to do brilliant things in their lives and businesses. And who can't stand to have more brilliance? She's a motivational speaker, empowerment specialist, and business mentor, and truly an inspiration to all women, regardless of their background, the types of business they own, what they're doing in life. She truly is an inspiration. She inspires through her daily motivational posts, which I love seeing, her weekly power talks, and she connects with women all over the country to help them create the lives of their dreams. Tiana lives her life by this simple rule: create no excuses, only brilliant results. Can't argue with that. She says if she can inspire one woman to step out on faith and live the life she's imagined for herself, then she's done her job. So I encourage you to connect with her. She's at Tiana Patrice on Facebook, Instagram, and her website is tianapatrice.com. So welcome so much, my dear. Lovely to have you with me here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I just love your energy. I mean, we've connected on so many levels. I know that we have similar missions and kind of goals, and so I'm just looking forward to this time to chat with you. And I love all the things that I'm seeing happening with you, your workshops and webinars and networking. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what you've been up to these days? Give us a little bit of info on Tiana.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for that lovely introduction. I mean, you got me over here just really smiling. That was exciting. But, just to kind of piggyback over the bio, from the bio, my name is Tiana Patrice. I am an inspirational blogger. I'm an empowerment specialist, and really I'm just walking in my purpose. That's it. Just really following the path that God has set in front of me to do, to be able to empower and inspire and motivate women, especially moms. That's really my thing, those moms, because as moms, we tend to think that our lives are over once we have kids, and it's not. It's truly just beginning. And so even though you haven't maybe started your dreams or lived your dreams before you became a mom, you don't have to stop. And so that's why I'm here, to really encourage those women to step outside of their comfort zones, trust me, to give them the tools that they need to be able to launch their dreams. And so that's why I'm here. And like you said, you can find me over at tianapatrice.com and all over Facebook, because I'm on there all day, right? Posting and
right.
Motivating women, and really just giving them a good word, a good motivational word to really just uplift them and inspire them. And that's why I'm here.
Wonderful. So one of the things that I have noticed in my own journey, people meet me now and they assume, okay, like I started off like this, appearing to have it all together and really living my dream and doing all the things that I really have inspired to do. But, you and I know that's not the reality. Like, we all start from somewhere. So share a little bit with the audience about your journey, kind of where you've been, what you've gone to and then what kind of propelled you to where you are today.
Oh, wow. That's such a phenomenal question, and you're so right. People look at me so often and go, oh, she has it all together. It's so funny because there's this song, and you probably heard it. There's this rap song by Drake, and it says, started from the bottom, now we're here. And I laugh because I started from the bottom, and I'm still not here yet. Like, I still haven't made it. But people tend to look at me and think that I have it all together. And so what I have to remind people is I have a story. I have a story just like everybody else. And, you know, I'm growing up in a small town in Alabama, which I love dearly, because if it wasn't for that city, then I wouldn't be who I am today. Raised in the church. You could catch me in church on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Saturday mornings, and Sundays. I was always in church. And so when you say, you know, purpose-filled and successful, I think success is determined per person. You know, a lot of people think that having a lot of money makes them successful. For me, it's not about the money, it's about the freedom. It's about being able to live the life that I've imagined. And I can be successful and have 2 cents in my pocket as long as I'm happy. And so what people see when they see me, like that song by Mary Mary, it's the God in me that people are seeing.
Right.
It's not the old me. It's not my past. God has definitely worked in my life and allowed me to be able to eliminate some of those things that I've gone through. But what I realize is He put me through a lot of things for me to be able to share my story. Had I not gone through a lot of the things I went through, then I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to motivate these women. I wouldn't be able to empower these women. I wouldn't be called to my purpose right now. And so it's not that I'm successful. It's not that, you know, I'm purpose. You know, it's all about my purpose. It's all about the God in me right now. And that's what people are saying. Like, I'm purpose-filled because God called me. And it's just really an exciting journey that I've been on, being able to be authentically me, crazy and fun, and having fun with my clients, having fun on my Facebook page, but still being able to share the word of God is phenomenal. You know, it's just been a really great journey, and I'm very appreciative for it.
That's awesome. And I love you talking about sharing your journey. I saw someone post something that said, your story is your secret weapon. Like, that is what sets you apart. That's what people are drawn to. That is what, like you said, it gives you that testimony, that resilience, that really overcoming spirit. And one of the things that I really wanted to do through this campaign is encourage women to embrace their story. We all have a story, and it's, yeah, you know, I say it's a roller coaster. We've got highs and we've got lows. We've got slow times and high times. We've climbed some mountains, we've been in some valleys, you know, but we all have a story, and that's what sets us apart, and that is all a part of God's plan for us, and that's what helps us reach the women that we reach, do the things that we do, connect with the people we connect. It's our story, and so I think it's a time to really embrace it in all its imperfections, you know, and all its messiness.
Right.
But it's my story. Right.
Absolutely. And I think so many people think we're perfect, but if I sit down with you, if you actually sit down with me and chat with me and talk with me, and you go, oh my God, you're just like me. I'm just like you. I'm that little country girl, you know, from down South Alabama that was called, and that's it. You know, I'm no different. And so people have a problem with being transparent. And I've actually had people come to me and say, why are you so transparent? Like, if you go on my blogs, if you read my Facebook post, you'll see nothing but transparency there. In fact, just yesterday on my personal page, I posted a video of me and one of my cousins doing the most outlandish, crazy things that, you know, just that we do in our spare time that people don't get a chance to see.
I saw it.
You saw that video, and you know, I didn't expect to get the response that I got from it. I literally called her and said, I'm posting a video. Oh my God, I'm so scared. And I didn't expect to get the response that I did, and so many people, so many entrepreneurs posted on that video and said, thank you. I'm not alone. You know, and sometimes this journey, this entrepreneurial journey, gets very lonely, and people need to know that we're just human. We're just like you. We have a story. And so I'm very transparent with my story and with my life. I always tell people I'm inviting you into my world of my untraditional cray-cray.
Right.
Because I want to give other women the opportunity to say, me too. There's so many women that feel like they're alone. I was there. I was one of those women. And so to give someone, if just one person, the opportunity to say, me too, I'm not alone, and then I've served my purpose.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So, what do you feel like was really the turning point for you? Because we all have this point where we know there's a calling, we know that there's something we're supposed to be doing, or we know that God's just wooing us, and then, but we're at that why, that fork in the road, and we
Hmm.
have to really make a decision. So, what was really the turning point for you that said, I'm just going all the way? Like, I'm stepping out in faith, and I'm just going all the way.
You know what? For me, I think that life became very repetitive,
Mm.
very redundant in a sense, where I was just living. I was just going from day to day, kind of almost like a zombie. You know what I mean? I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was working an 8 to 5. I was taking care of my family. I was doing what I was supposed to do. But then I realized that I wasn't happy. I realized that I wasn't seeing my kid. I wasn't seeing my family. I realized that this isn't the life that I had imagined for myself. And, I had come from a place of not having a job for months to
Mm.
finally finding a job. And I was like, well, God bless me with this job. This is where I'm supposed to be. I need to just suck it up and I need to be happy. And, just kind of those thoughts of you better not mess this up. You've experienced, being one step away from the soup line. And then my turning point was just that point when you go, this isn't me. I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
I'm not happy. And people that really know me were starting to see through it. And at the end of 2013, I remember making this post on Facebook, and I write poetry too. So every so often I'll put just a smidget of poetry that I've written in my Facebook post. And I wrote something where it was saying, God, I'm on a journey and I'm searching for my purpose,
Mm.
and that was at the end of 2013. And I remember in December, actually on December, I was with my family and we do vision board parties. My family is very motivational as well. I love it. I'm going to be working with some clients as well doing vision boards, but or dream boards. And so
Yeah.
we were at a dream board party, and one of my cousins comes up to me, and God uses her a lot to
Mm.
speak to people. And she came to me and she said, God wanted me to tell you that he's very proud of you. You don't
Mm.
understand where you are in life, and that's okay, but you have to be ready for all the blessings he's about to bring you in. And I'm looking at her, and because I get really emotional sometimes, so I brush people off and I go, just get away from me with all that. And sure enough, in January, God started showing me things and blessing me with things and pulls me right into my purpose. And what I found was I had been searching for something that was in me all along.
Mm.
I've always been inspirational. I've always been motivational. But now it was time for me to tell my story, to be able to tell my story in a way that would uplift moms and would give them a chance to have that taste of freedom, to have that opportunity to say, I'm not alone. And so my turning point was really, for me, to go back to your question, just really that point of not being happy, feeling like a robot in life. And there's a lot of people who are comfortable living that way.
Yeah.
And I really think that's just because they don't know any better. And so that's why I'm here, and that's why you're here, to be able to show people that there's a different way, and you still can be happy and make money, but doing it in a very non-traditional way, which is being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I love how you said too that what you were searching for, you realized you already had within you. And I think that's so key because sometimes we're looking at other places or we're looking at other people and we're thinking, gosh, if I could just have that, or it could be like this, and not realizing that we are already equipped with everything that we need. I mean, God has already said we are fearfully and wonderfully made, that, marvelous are his works, and that he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we could ask, think, and imagine in our own life, according to the power that's at work in us. And so sometimes we're looking outward and we should really be looking inside. So I'm just so glad you brought that up, and to say that people get comfortable in complacency and realizing that that's not how God designed us. I think he wants us to live, exciting, vibrant, kind of on the edge, risk-taking lives for him. And so I just love that you brought those points out. So what would you say has been your biggest lesson in kind of, starting on this journey? What has really stood out to you, like, whoa, like that was powerful?
Oh gosh. Honestly, and I teach this on my power talks. My biggest lesson would be it is not all about me. Say what? My friends would kill to hear me say that right now. I hope they're not even on this interview and I'm not sending them the link. It is not all about Tiana Patrice. It's not all about me. And what I mean when I say that is sometimes we go through things. We go through points in life, whether it's for 10 minutes, whether it's for 2 seconds, whether it's for 10 years, that has nothing to do with us, but so that we can be blessed, so we can do for others. And so this journey has taught me that it's not all about me. So that's really what I would say that I've learned, on a personal note. Just speaking from a personal standpoint, not about business and things of that nature, just taking it more personal. What I've learned is it ain't all about me.
So kind of on the flip side of that, in stepping out and really, doing this kind of, like you said, non-traditional thing, what was the kind of biggest negative message that you had to overcome? Like, what was it that you had to say, I'm no longer going to believe that to be true about myself or about my life or about my possibilities? What was that for you?
That's very interesting that you actually just asked me that question, because this morning at 7:30 this morning, I shot a video from my car. And I like shooting videos from my car because it makes me feel really comfortable, like my followers are sitting right here in the back seat with me. But I told people that there's a couple of things that you have to unlearn, to take out of your mindset in order to be successful in business. And one of those things for me is you have to unlearn that no one's gonna buy your products, no one's gonna want to listen to you, no one's gonna follow you, no one's gonna believe in you. You have to take that out of your mindset, because you are moving towards what you think. You're moving exactly towards what you think. So if you think that no one's going to believe in you, if you think that no one's going to follow you, then guess what? Nobody's going to follow you. But if you think positive, if you manifest in your thoughts, if you pray or, live your life with big dreams, you'll be blessed big, And so people have to really unlearn and take that out of their mindset that their business, basically you're saying your business is going to fail. And so that's one of the things that I would really tell people to stop doing today. Stop speaking negativity into your life. Stop speaking negativity into your business. Stop speaking negativity into your homes, because you are walking exactly towards what you think.
Yeah, so powerful. That's a great lesson. So what might be another nugget or two that you might share with a woman who is at that fork in the road? I know I'm called. I know I should be doing something else. I know that I have this bigger vision, but I'm hesitant to step out. Like, what would you say to her? What would be some steps or strategies you might give her to kind of get her over that hump?
I would say get out of your own head. There's this little girl that lives inside of us, and sometimes you have to pick her up and shake her real good and tell her to sit down and let me work. It's so important for us to get out of our own way. If you're at a fork in the road, you need to make it one path and start now. And just move and just go. The only way you can fail is if you don't try. And like I always say, there's no such thing as failing, only epic lessons. And so people need to remember that as long as you're learning something, you're not failing. You're just figuring out a different way to do it. And so start now and stop making excuses. Start now and stop making excuses. Deliver brilliant results. Those are the two things that I would recommend and, just really push women to do.
I love that too, how you said it's not too late. I always say it's not too late unless you just don't get started, like
right.
If you get started now, it wasn't too late. It's only too late if you just never take the step. So I love that you said that. And I always think imperfect action, just get started, just get on a path and just get going. I mean, you're not, like you said, we have epic lessons. All of us learn those epic lessons. Some are more epic than others along the way. But you say, you learn a million things that don't work, but pretty soon you're going to figure out what does. And so you just have to get going. I love that. And I loved your declaration video too. I mean, you said, I am fearless. So what does that really mean to you, to live fearless right now?
That's so funny because I had one of my mentors, she's actually one of my older cousins, and she always gives me such great advice. And she told me one day, she said, "You're fearless." And I'm not fearless. And then she names all of this stuff that I do that I don't realize that I do. But to her makes it seem like I'm fearless. And so does that mean that I'm not afraid of anything? No, that's not what that means. There are things that I am afraid of. But being fearless means I don't let those things stand in my way. Being fearless means I push those things out, off to the side, and I step outside of my comfort zone. So when I say that I'm fearless, that means I'm trusting in the Lord to deliver me. I'm trusting in the Lord to guide my paths, and I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone. And if it doesn't work, I can always choose a different path, but I'll never know if it doesn't work unless I start. And so that's what I mean when I say that I'm fearless.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me bring up the point. It doesn't mean that you don't have fearful moments or there aren't things that still seem a little bit scary to step out into, because I think we get blocked like, oh gosh, I'm in fear, I can't do anything. And say, you got to face the fear and do it anyway. We all
Right.
have things that are uncomfortable, and we all have steps we have to take that seem unsure, but we have the assurance, I always say, we have the assurance of God that He's with us and that He brings all things to work together for us. Even if we misstep, He can fix it. And so we have that comfort, and so we just have to get out there and do it afraid
And figure it
and
out. And figure
just
it
see
out.
God work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Figure it out. And so many
Right.
people, they choose to not step outside of their comfort zone because because they don't know. They don't know how to start their business. They don't know how to live a life of brilliancy. They don't know how to live a life that they've, really truly imagined. And I get that. But one thing that I always say is I can figure anything out as long as I got God and Google.
Right.
And so, for me, what I always say is, I keep saying what I always say because apparently I say a lot, right? But one of the things that's so important is the only way to figure it out is if you start. Starting now, even if you're fearful, starting now makes you figure it out.
Right.
It makes you figure it out. So I can't figure something out if I don't start. And so that's why, starting now is so important to me. That's why I push that so hard.
Awesome. I see that Gandhi quote behind you. So I'm going
Yes.
to ask you, what is like your favorite quote or your favorite scripture? What's your go-to?
Oh goodness. Well, I have a lot. You see the Gandhi quote behind me, which is "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Above my door over here, because I'm still in my office, above my door over here "We walk by faith and not by sight," right above my door. I look at it every day. Gotta walk by faith. And I would say my favorite scripture would be Proverbs 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That is just so powerful. It's so powerful, especially in not just your business, but in everyday situations. Anytime you're going through something where you don't know why you're in that situation. Just last week, I was placed in 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 different situations where I said, really? You couldn't have told me these things a different way, but I realized, again, like I said earlier, those things weren't about me. And so I trusted in Him, and it wasn't about me understanding. So I didn't lean on my own understanding. I had to lean and trust on God, and that's how I was able to get through that week. I said, the devil must be really mad. Like, I would be really mad if I kept trying to make somebody have a bad day and it wasn't working. So, that's one of my favorite scriptures there. Just trust in the Lord with all of your heart.
Yeah, and sometimes we get lost. I'm going to do a blog post about this, and it's not even about my situation with myself. It's with my daughter, so I'm going to kind of put her on blast. But she turned 21. Yes, I had her at like 5, but
I was going to say, girl.
I have a 21-year-old. So she, some of her girlfriends from church were planning a surprise birthday party for her, but obviously, they couldn't tell her. So what they said is they were having a party for somebody else. And so, they were, getting all the stuff together, and she was kind of feeling a little put out, like, wait a minute, like, this is my big 21 celebration. These are my friends. Like, why aren't they doing something for me? And so she actually was almost not going to go because she's like, she's kind of feeling away. She's got a little bit of too, like, I don't want to go to this party. These supposed to be my friends, and they're throwing, and I'm like, it's not about, like, it can't always be about you. It just can't, even though I knew what was going on, but I said, it can't always be about you. Like, sometimes it has to be about somebody else. So you go and you celebrate that person and you support them. And, if your friends don't throw you a party or they didn't or whatever, kind of get over yourself. So, she's kind of begrudgingly goes. And of course she gets there and it is a party for her and all her friends there. I mean, she just sobbed. I know. And plus she's, feeling bad, like, oh my gosh, I was thinking this and you guys really were. But, it's like we sometimes have to get out of ourselves. Like, it can't always be about us. And even sometimes in that moment, the blessing is on the other side of that, of, giving selflessly, sowing into people, speaking into people's lives, and then your blessings will come. I mean,
Absolutely.
don't look to other people to bless you, because what God has in his hands is so much greater than what anybody else has. And so it's just being obedient even when it doesn't make sense, like I said, when it's not about you, and then just watch the blessings overtake you on the other side. So yeah, don't lean on your own understanding, because sometimes our understanding is flawed. It is flawed.
Right.
Oh gosh, I enjoy. Gosh, the time went so fast. So tell me what's next for you. What's on the horizon for you coming up?
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, each Sunday night I do Power Talk with Tiana Patrice, and the calls are super packed. They only last 15 minutes. I think of myself, one, I don't like being on the phone for a long time. I'm pretty much a texter, emailer type person. So I think about myself and say, okay, what can I give these women in 15 minutes? And in 15 minutes, I tell a story and I motivate and empower them and help them jumpstart their week. And so far it's been phenomenal, and so I have that going on, and I'm doing some free webinars right now. I'm doing a free live training that starts on July 1st. I've invited 100 women to join.
Wonderful.
And the name of the webinar is Failure to Launch, and what that means is you haven't launched yet, and I'm going to teach you why. So I'm going to give them all of the tools and resources they need to step out on faith and launch their dreams. And so those are really the two main things that I'm working on right now, as well as I have my very first book that will be released fall 2000.
Wow.
And so I've been working on that as well. So those are the things that I'm working on, and if they want to stay up to date with everything that's going on with me, again, I'm on Facebook at Tiana Patrice, and over on my website, which is where you're going to read all my funny blogs and my transparent blogs, over at www.tianapatrice.com.
Awesome. And I'm going to encourage you, women who are listening, get on her email list, as I am. I totally enjoy her blogs. Get connected. Find out when those calls are on Sundays. Get the code. Get hooked up with the webinar. This is a brilliant, brilliant, talented, empowering woman, and you want to be connected with her. So again, find her at tianapatrice.com. Stay connected, and just let her speak and sow into you. You're going to be blessed. So thank you, Tiana, for the time together. I so enjoyed connecting with you. I love your energy and just your spirit, and you are so upbeat and positive. I mean, you are doing what you are called to do, girl. That is for sure. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you much. I will do anything for you. You know that. I love your company. I love everything that you're doing, and I love that you are not afraid to talk about God in your business. That's very rare, and I appreciate you being very authentic in that moment. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Bye, you guys.
Bye.